I have a $1,234.56 donation from Iz. They say, "Fear not the Dark Souls, my friend, and let the Demon Souls remake begin." Thank you so much, Iz. Say it with me, chat. Demon Souls. Demon Souls. Demon Souls. Without further ado, you paid for it. Here's BertoPlease with the Demon Souls remake.
All right, thank you. That's a really good donation message. All right, hi everyone. I'm BertoPlease. I am back to GDQ with Demon Souls remake. I'm fortunate enough to be joined again by my friend Ashewyn.
Hello, my name is Ashewyn. I'm a Souls speedrunner and I've dabbled in Demon Souls. We just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who made this bonus run possible. We're so incredibly excited to be bringing you Demon Souls Remake for the first time at GDQ, especially after getting to show off the original last SGDQ. And it's an absolute honor to follow up our bud Matthew's Dark Souls 3 run and our friends from the Speed Souls community and getting to do a Souls block for all of you. So please kick back and enjoy this run.
Yeah, thank you. If you're unaware, Demon Souls is the predecessor to Dark Souls. It is the first Souls game ever made, but it was remade last year for the PS5, the infamous PS5. So during this run, we'll be discussing some of the similarities and differences between the original, what makes this speedrun cool in particular, and some of the lore of the game, of course. And we're going to be doing an 80% current patch run. It is currently the most popular category in the leaderboard, so that's one to look out for. It will be a magic route as opposed to the original, which is a melee route, primarily. So we'll be starting with Magician class. This primarily has the Flame Toss spell, which is what we want mainly. And the stat spread overall is pretty good for a Magician build, of course. Then we're going to have the Fire Bombs as for a starter gift. That's going to help us with the first boss, Phalanx. And yeah, I'm going to go into the tutorial prompt here. And of course, we're going to skip the tutorial as it is an 80% run. We don't need to do it. But yeah, I'm going to count down from 5 to start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna kick this run off with a bit of lore. We are in Boletaria, a once prominent kingdom that has been brought to ruins and overrun with demons with the re-emergence of the Old One, a powerful demon that seeks the souls of all who inhabit this kingdom. Our goal as a slayer of demons, by employing the magic that brought about the demise of this kingdom, is to put the demon back to sleep or become its ultimate servant. To do that, we need to visit 5 worlds, defeat the archdemons, servants of the Old One, undo a seal where the Maiden in Black will escort us to him, and this is the ultimate objective of any percent, reaching the end of the game as fast as possible.
Indeed. So we're now in 1-1 Boltarian Palace. This is essentially a tutorial after the tutorial because you do need to do this level before you can actually proceed to the more openness of the game. So we're gonna have to go through here. As you have seen so far, there's a lot of enemies in this first area. They're definitely really annoying. They're not necessarily deadly by any means, but if they ever overwhelm us, we thankfully can do something we call a quit out or reload maneuver, which is essentially just closing the game from the menu. And that will reset enemies to their positions that they're normally scripted to be. So we can always do that in case they overwhelm us. All right, so coming up here, we have our first small little skip we can do, the boulder skip. Like so. This is essentially abusing the iframes that a roll has. In the Souls games, you generally have iframes in your roll. And we use that to get around the boulder without taking any damage or knocked back. That was in the original as well, but you could roll over it instead of around it. It was a little bit nicer and more lenient, but that's okay. And one last thing we should discuss before we go on is that stamina management is a really important thing. If you see the top left corner under the blue bar, that is our stamina bar. And generally speaking, we're going to run until we are almost done, deplete our stamina, and then let go. And then recharge until it's almost all the way up and start running again. Oh. Now we hit this little boulder trap to clear some enemies here. And when we did that, we switched our catalyst to the left hand and put the Nexio binding item in our hotbar, which is like the dark side in Dark Souls. It essentially takes us back to the Nexus, the hub, but at the cost of all our souls at the moment. All right, so we have a scary little bridge here, so I'm gonna focus for a moment.
Yeah, so Souls games like to put dragons in their games, and there is a dragon that flies overhead here trying to burn us, but it is scripted on a cycle, so if Berto manages that stamina well, as he talked about earlier, and just walks around these guys, he will be able to get through it before it even burns us to a crisp. Pull this lever here, He's going to pick up an item called the Pine Resin. It's a buff. And then we're going to explain the first feature of the PS5 and the PlayStation Plus membership. It's a unique feature to the speedrun called a PS Plus Warp. So the PS5 has a feature called Activity Cards, which you'll see on screen here, which breaks down the games into chunks based on the progress in the game. In Demon Souls, these cards actually have shortcuts where it can take you to specific parts of the game. Here we selected Gates of Boletaria 1-1 to teleport to the beginning of the level, which is much faster than walking to an Archstone, which we'll use later, to get to our first boss, Phalanx. So we're going to use these warps throughout the run to get to our next destination much more quickly. And yes, it's a pay-to-win feature.
Unfortunately, but thankfully the leaderboard is split into PS Plus and non-PS Plus categories. Alrighty, so first boss Phalanx. We're gonna chuck the fire bombs we got. We got a few extra ones on the way here as well. But we're gonna chuck these to spread out all these ads around the boss. As you can see, there's a lot of them, so the more we have, the more we clear them out. And even do a little bit of damage to the boss as well, so that's really neat to have. Right here, I can maybe even dupe this last one. That's 10. Oh, there you go. So duped the last one too, just for convenience. And now the boss is pretty open to just get hit by a fireballs from my catalyst. So. And there you go. The little guys can also, thank you. The little guys can also heal the boss, so just in general, it's good to get them spread out. All right, so touching this little archstone is what we call these, and we're gonna work back to the Nexus now.
Right, so first thing that we're actually going to do in the Nexus here is we're going to visit a little blacksmith called Baldwin, pick up a dagger. Going to be a crucial item in our upcoming fights. But let's actually dive back into the lore here. So this is a Nexus, the place in which the Slayer of Demons is bound to and cannot escape. The hub world connects the kingdom of Boletaria and will allow us to travel between the worlds, but not without first unlocking them by talking to a Monumental. Monumental being the last of this ancient race that puts us on a quest to free the kingdom of Boletaria and put the old one back to sleep, which we learn isn't the first time that this has happened, as humanity likes to repeat its mistakes. So the old one is actually located in the center of this Nexus behind a seal, which we'll need to undo by defeating the archdemons, the bosses of each of the 5 worlds.
Indeed. So before we actually get down to this area, I picked up an item called the Stone of Hermelize. That is a safety item. When you die in this game, your HP is cut in half, so all the item does is bring us back to full, basically. But yeah, after that, we quit out to put us back at the bottom of the Nexus, and now we're opening to the first area, Tower of Latria, Prison of Hope, or I like to call it 3-1. This is going to be where we get a lot of the spells and stuff we need for our build. But firstly, we're going to do our first major skip of the run, the Coffin skip.
So it's pretty standard that objects in games have collision, right? Well, in the remake, if you quit out, like Berto's doing here, and reload, there's a few brief seconds in which collision is not on, which allows us to walk right into this coffin here. And when collision kicks back in, it boosts us to the top of the coffin, allowing us to roll off this level onto surrounding environment and all the way to the bottom, skipping all the floors of the Prison of Hope, something the original didn't really have in this fashion and saves us a lot of time. So we'll abuse no collision quite often in the speedrun. And shortly after that, we actually have another skip coming up here. This one's called Arrow Trap Skip. Very basic, very simple. It abuses the invincibility frames that Berto was talking about in the rolls that we have in this game. He's going to roll through the volleys of arrows that are coming at him. And he picked up an item there called a Clever Rat Ring, which is a very key item to this run. It will increase our damage output to 150% when we fall below the 30% HP threshold, which Berto did intentionally take damage from those arrows there, so he can set that up. He's almost there, not quite. You will notice his character has Clever Rat Ring range when it has a red aura glowing around his character or the rat symbol under the HUD in the left corner.
So we're just short, as she said, and we're gonna get that as we drop down to the actual boss. So that's the actual boss door. We're gonna have to take a quick little detour before we actually get there. Okay, so we're gonna open this door and we're gonna equip the Clever Rat Ring as we open it, as there's not just an animation we can't really skip by any means. And now we're gonna take this detour to kill this enemy at the end of the hallway. This enemy can actually revive the boss that we're about to fight. So good that we take it out before we actually go to the boss fight. And then we also got a ring at the end of, or a key at the end of the hallway. And that key is actually going to free our main spell vendor, Sage Frake. So we will take the quick detour to get some spells after this as well, after the next boss. We're gonna pick this item right here, the Widow's Lotus. It's gonna be useful, I wanna say midway through the run. It's not gonna be used immediately, but we will use it later, and it's good to have on the way. Okay, so now we're in Collaborate ring range and avoiding this phantom so it doesn't kill us. Now we're gonna get to the next boss, Fool's Idol.
So this fight is a feat of mastering stamina management. To set up, we will apply pine resin to our dagger. We're gonna kill an enemy before we approach the boss because he can walk up to us during the fight. And with well-timed R1s, we're gonna stun lock this boss and prevent her from teleporting away. So if you actually take a look at the green stamina bar on the left, Berto is making sure to never let his stamina bar fully deplete, but only with the briefest of pauses to let some stamina replenish, but never enough for her to warp away. As she nears death, Berto's gonna finish her off with some flame tosses, and this fight is actually incredibly impressive and super rewarding to learn if you would like to try your hand at it, because you'll really understand how important stamina management in this fight and how the smallest mistime can mess up that fight.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite little tech you can do in this game. And funnily enough, we found out recently that you can actually do it in the original. We found it in the remake, or early on in the remake's life, but we went back and tested the original, and it actually does work too. So just goes to show how faithful the remake is. All right, so our favorite NPC here, Maiden in Black, we're going to use her to level up to 25 magic. She's going to be our level up lady for this game, as they tend to be. And then after that, we're going to go back to 3-1 to do the next skip, the free Sage Frake, the Sage Frake skip.
If you never say that name, I would just call him Sage Frick because that's how I know him in my mind. But incredibly cool skip that will allow us to get to the other side of the prison to free him. Berto's going to reload the game here to allow us to abuse no collision again and to walk into a specific cell wall, corner of the cell wall. Once collision returns, we'll upwarp to the top of the wall. He's going to reload once more to try to walk to the left of this wall, abusing the no collision. And in order to fall onto a barrel beneath us, which we might not see, but the cue we're looking for is listening for the barrel break. And when that happens, and we reload one more time, let's see, didn't work out there, but...
Okay, let's give it a moment, see if it actually boosts. Oh man, okay, hold on.
Oh no. This happened in practice, didn't it?
Yeah. Was it yesterday or today? I don't remember.
Let's see. We'll see if we can still get that upwarp here. If it doesn't work out, and if you find yourself sometimes stuck between the levels and things are not working out, you can just next heal blind and try the skip again, which is fortunate for us if things don't work. But we were looking for that barrel to break, and you'll hear an audio cue of a barrel breaking, which will indicate to it, that we're doing the right thing, and it will upwarp us to the top of this prison. But sometimes you can be slightly... Oh, there we go. There's the upwarp. We're going to be walking along a seam here that is very narrow. If Berto walks in any wrong direction, he can fall back into the level, which means he gets stuck within it. But not something we can do casually. You generally are not on top of a prison. So that's a really cool skip.
It is, yeah. Thankfully, it happened eventually. It wasn't the ideal, but that's okay. Normally, it would be like a 1 in 10 that it would mess it up, but... Sorry. Alrighty, so now we get to Sage Frake, and we're going to talk to him so he can be registered as freed. And then we're going to next get bind back to Nexus. Like I said, we already used all of our souls for the leveling, so we're good on that. And now we're actually going to immediately attack to him. We're going to buy the spell Soul Ray and attune it, of course. This is going to be our main ranged spell for the pretty much entirety of the run. And it's going to get heavy use early on now, so it's good to have right now. And we're now going to Shrine of Storms 4-1. The Island's Path, I believe? Island's Edge. So this is actually a pretty infamous level because these skeletons that you can see rising from the dead are very aggressive. And that one's already not in a great position. But yeah, they're very aggressive. They can be on the heels at all times. So we're going to hope that they behave. We do have a safety strat in case it doesn't go right, but... Huh? Okay.
They were really nice to you. Wow.
Yeah, the first one was a little annoying, but...
Oh. Trying to get ahead of you there, though.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to quit out here just to reset them because, just the one I'm on our heels, but that should have been okay, actually. So yeah, as I said earlier, we can reload the game to reset enemies to their spawn points. It's really handy to use. Okay, so now we're going to pick up this Crescent Falchion. This is our main melee weapon for the run. We're not going to use it a lot because we are going to focus on spells mostly, but it is a magic-based weapon, so it does fit our build. And it's fairly popular with the casual playthroughs as well, just first playthroughs. It's a one that most builds can use right off the bat. Very powerful. Alrighty, and now we have a small little skip that only skips, you know, the entirety of the level. All of it gone immediately. So that's actually was in the original, and I'm pretty sure they just decided to keep it, you know, very consciously because it's a very well-known one. We did pick up a ring called the Regenerator's Ring, which, as the name might tell, actually heals our HP. We put it on over time, and we will be using that a little bit later. For now, we just picked it up as we were here. And now, after setting up Clever Rat Ring with some arrow traps, we are at our first boss, Adjudicator. We also know her as Hey Jude.
Hey Jude. Just a nice shorthand for her. Is it actually the bird of her? I didn't know that.
That's a good question. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, it was all a matter of shooting Soul Rays at the top of the head. So that goes to show the power of not only Soul Ray, but also Clever Rat Ring. Okay. Before we warp away, we popped a few souls to get a few extra levels from the maiden as we warp back. Ooh, she's a night spot. Nice. Okay.
Ooh.
So
Best
we're gonna
wife in the series, by the way.
Yes. We got 30 endurance, 31 magic now, and we're gonna PS plus warp back to Latria. So for Upper Latria, that's gonna be, we're going back to here. We're gonna finish this level now. And I hope you've been appreciating those load screens, by the way. This is a reminder this is a console game. So it really just goes to show how powerful these consoles are getting with the SSD and such. Really closing the gap between PC gaming and console gaming. And for the Soul series, that's huge for sure. We were gonna pick this item, the Fresh Spice. This will be our main way to regen mana whenever we are low. It's a consumer we're gonna get a lot of as we run through here. But now that we're here, we're gonna go on to the Heart Skip.
So this is an incredibly impressive skip that might not seem like much, but allows us to skip 6 minutes of running through Upper Latria, something that was not possible in the original. But the remake allows us to choose between 2 modes to play the game: Performance, which Berto is going to be switching into cinematic right now, and cinematic, which runs at 30 FPS. Believe it or not, by switching the cinematic mode actually has a speedrunning use. Sometimes it's not enough to just reload the game like Berto is doing here to remove the collision that we talked about, but we have to switch modes entirely to alter the way collision works. Berto is going to walk into that pillar right there, get upwarped on top of it, and go over this heart artery that generally we would need to pull and yank down the entire heart to get past. So impressive skip 6 minutes. It's incredible.
Yeah. It was basically the skip we were praying for in the last GDQ run that we did last year. That we found, because that run is very much lengthy one. Oh, okay, the camera's a little wonky there, but yeah. So we were led one more time to have this enemy reset to a proper position, and we want to bait the Soul Ray attack that you do, the magic spell, and that puts us exactly at CRR range. It says like 183 or something, and that's gonna allow us to actually tank like a 1-hit or something from the next bosses coming up. So even though it's not the fastest RTA setup for Clever Rat, I wanted to do that to have a little bit more survivability. But now we are on to the next boss, Man-Eater.
Yeah. The Man-Eater is a daunting yet fairly straightforward magic fight. Berto is going to cast a series of Soul Rays at Man-Eater while keeping distance from Man-Eater to observe his behavior and rope him out. But Berto's skills are particularly impressive here as he fights this boss unlocked, using mainly visual cues and good camera angles to aim the Soul Rays freely. Now this is not easy to do. Sometimes the Soul Rays can miss if you're just slightly off in aiming, but it's looking pretty good so far. But it turns out that Man-Eater isn't just a singular boss in this fight. These bosses can overlap each other, you know, if you're taking your sweet time trying to kill them, which often happens in the casual speedrun, but second one appears. That animation was Berto running out of mana there. Something that you also have to mind in this fight is that Soul Rays are expensive mana costs. After some point, you're gonna wanna mind your mana and make sure to use that Fresh Spice in the fight to keep casting. A lot to manage in this fight, and also like something you're not noticing here is these Man-Eaters can actually fly off, which loses a lot of time. They're RNG heavy bosses, but Berto's making sure to stay in the center of the bridge to manipulate them to only hop in the center of the bridge and not off of it and fly away. So really good manipulation on Berto's end here.
Yeah, that was an okay fight. I missed the first shot, so that was not great for like the usual strat that I do. It worked out all right. So. Good stuff. Right, but yeah, now we're on to immediately to the next boss, essentially Old Monk.
Old Monk is the first archdemon that we're going to be slaying here. So because Old Monk in his lore has some sort of golden robe that allows him power and basically takes wishes from any of its wearers, this boss is actually a PvP battle if played online, letting anyone assume the power of the robes as they wear them. And, you know, basically it seeks out anyone that wants that power. But since this is a speedrun and it's against the rules to play online, we will be fighting it offline, but no worries. Old Monk does have has a default moveset that he resorts to when no player is inside him. But don't underestimate this fight, because Old Monk is actually a very scary speedrun fight. While his moveset is limited, he's very fast to react. He will stick to you. He will dodge everything that you're throwing at him. But what Berto's going to do is use the arena to his advantage here. He's going to run around trying to bait him into the chairs where, you know, stupidly enough, Old Monk will strike instead of seeking Berto out. But yeah, he's really like chasing Berto down here. And at half HP, Old Monk will start to auto cast something called Homing Soul Arrow, a spell that we're going to be picking up soon. That's the thing that he just dodged there. And Berto will just need to mine that to make sure that he strafes past it or rolls past it while casting these Soul Rays to kill our first Archdemon. Nice job.
Not bad. That was not a bad one. All right, so yeah, we're done with him. And he's, yeah, like she said, it's a very scary fight. You don't want to take him, underestimate him rather. Because it can definitely kill you really quickly. His claw attack is really quick. All right, okay, now I'm main sighting, okay. So we're gonna go level up with her once more. We're gonna get 25 intelligence. We're gonna come back to her one more time later on. And now we're gonna talk to Sage Frake once more to get more spells. We're gonna get Homing Soul Arrow and Cloak. And we're gonna tune him, of course. And unfortunately for him, he has something that we need, so we're actually gonna just kill him.
Yikes.
We're gonna get
freed to only be ended moments later.
Yep. It's not my fault he had the sharpness ring. Yeah, so we need that ring. The sharpness ring increases your magic damage from spells by 30%. So we're gonna have that equipped at all times. But yeah, sadly after that note, we are going to the 5-1 level now. Valley of Defilement. So this is a lengthy level in itself, but even casually, even without the skip that we're about to do, you can normally get through it and fairly quickly. But yeah, now we got the chasm skip. Oops.
So, yeah, the chasm skip is an example of a slope skip, which is a glitch that prevents fatal fall damage. So if you reload carefully as you land on a certain slope, which Berto tried to drop off there, and splat on the ground and, you know, reload just as you splat on the ground, the game will try to restore the last safest position where, you know, the ground actually was that. So we managed to find our way all the way down to the bottom of the level versus on top of it. But really impressive skip. That just happened a little bit too fast for me to get into there.
Yeah, it's a little too quick, yes. Fun fact, if you roll into enemies, you can sometimes push them away because the roll has a little bit of a collision meter, so we can actually just roll into that tick right there, crossing the bridge. Yeah, and then we kill these enemies on the bridge itself, and we are going to go to the next boss, Leechmonger. We do have the Cloak spell casted right now, so he may actually not react to us right away, so what we're going to do here is cast Homing Soul Arrow, then Soul Ray, Homing Soul Arrow, Soul Ray. And yeah, you can see there, he only reacted to me at the very end there. So, you know, a little too sneaky for him. He couldn't really fight back, unfortunately. So, yeah, so that Homing Soul Arrow, Sora is going to be our bread and butter combo for the rest of the run, more or less. It's a really powerful one. And yeah, so now we reloaded the Archstone. That is going to, or we touched the Archstone, then reloaded. That's going to regen our stamina and health that we had any lost. And just to quickly explain Cloak, it basically masks our presence from enemies. It lasts 30 seconds by casting it. And yeah, it will run out in time. So, okay, another skip we got here. This is the Swamp Sour Drop. It's not too complicated. It's just a little bit of parkour. There's a little bit of geometry cliffs coming out of the wall here, so we're going to use that, land on top of them, and then roll off. So, pretty simple. Not even a glitch. We can do this in glitches run. All right, so yeah, now we are in this poison swamp, as you just saw in the prompt. It actually slows our movement, and if you try to roll, you can see that I actually just stumble in the ground. So what we do to mitigate it is if you look at my stamina bar on the top left, by toggling, we're actually able to regen a little bit of stamina as we run across it. So we use that to mitigate the speed loss a little bit as we try to get through here. And we also have the regenerating on to mitigate the damage. keep an eye on this NPC. She's really scary. We like to call her Shrek because she doesn't want her in her swamp. Came up from last year's run. Good practice. Great. Alrighty, so she behaved and I cloaked just to be safe. So we are good. Alright, so I picked up there the cat ring. And essentially all it is a portable version of a slope skip. Well, by equipping this skip and using it while we do huge drops, we're able to quit out at the very bottom of these drops and spawn at the bottom there without dying. So, you know, very handy to have. This is the main reason why we go to this level in particular, this world, before any other one, just to be able to use it a little bit later on. So really neat. And then right here coming up, we have the thief ring. This one. And this one acts similarly to cloak as well, but it's just a ring that you can put on. So instead of casting it, it just takes a couple seconds. You can just put it on, and it does have a lesser effect. The cloak is more effective, has a better effective range than thief ring. So in some cases, we might prefer to use thief ring. Some might want to use cloak. And yeah, that's why we pick it up, just to have the option in case we need something over the other.
I hope everyone's actually enjoying the visuals of the Demon Souls remake, because it really is gorgeous and beautiful, and you really get to see the enhanced resolution of the swamp, which is, nice.
Yeah, the very high definition of this
A valley of
brown
defilement,
swamp.
just to see how really gross it is.
Yeah. Okay, that's a little bit spooky, but should be okay.
Okay, so this area right here has a lot of enemies that are really scary. Berto is going to cloak here because he wants them to detect him just a slight second too late, which will allow him to run past them. They can be very, quick to react like that. That was not supposed to happen.
That was one of the persons I would prefer not to die. But that's how Souls games go sometimes. You just can't predict what they're going to do at all times. So that's
So
okay.
as I was saying, they're very quick to react, especially in clever rat ring range. You definitely don't want that happening, which is why we cast cloak. But you know, he had the one up on you there.
Yeah, I'm going to use this this stone that I picked up earlier. Thankfully, we have it. So, and then we got to get to the swamp again once.
Yeah, so that Stone of Ephemeral Eyes is a safety pickup that Berto has in this run, just so that he can return to human form for that full HP he was talking about earlier. Sometimes he can work with the half HP and do clever rat ring setup with that, but in this swamp, you don't want to be like, you know, having that poison tick and be at half HP. It's just too much to manage.
Yeah, it's possible, but not the most ideal way to get about this swamp, especially. So yeah. Hopefully they behave. I should be there with a little bit more HP so I can possibly react to it if it happens again. Hopefully it doesn't happen though.
Would you, Berto, would you like to take a donation in the meantime while we get there?
Yeah, sure. I think it's good for one.
We can take a donation.
Sure, quick donation. Let's see. We have from Telera. I hope I said that right. They donate $10 and say, "It's peanut butter Berto time, peanut butter Berto time." No, it's not. He doesn't like peanut butter.
Oh, wow, called out. Yeah, that's a joke in my community because Berto is what people call me, and some people call it a personal Berto when they get a PB. And I mean, I think that came up before I even had my BertoPlease name, but that actually works pretty well with the BMP.
Peanut Berto. I love that so much. Yeah, I want to let you get back to the run, but let me know when I have time to speak about some incentives. We have a lot happening right now.
Might not be quite yet, but we'll let you know. Yeah, thank you, Teller.
Thank you.
Good.
So we're working our way through this incredible, like, expansive swamp again. Almost getting back to where we last left off. Hopefully picking up those souls as well.
Yeah, that should be a little bit further.
But it's why we have, like, the thief ring and the cloak, which, you know, perform the same functionality. Same with, like, slope quit outs and the cat ring. It's just like this, like, magic bottled into a portable ring, which is really nice. But cast that cloak again. Hopefully these enemies do not do the same thing again. Let's see. All right. Look at that. They're actually doing nothing. Don't even see us. Reacting a little bit too late. All right. This is looking a lot better. And we're going to be heading to our boss here, called Dirty Colossus. Berto hitting that one out of the way for good measure. And just before entering this fight, Berto's going to swap out the regen ring that we're using in the swamp for the clever rat ring so that he can make sure that he's, utilizing that 150% damage output. So Dirty Colossus is actually this really disgusting boss of like flies and maggots, and protected by this wind armor. So Berto's gonna actually strike it in the stomach because his magic spells are not gonna be able to go through to the boss without exposing his mid-center, which homing soul arrows are gonna strike. Berto's gonna make sure that he dodges these like little swarms of flies, which he can also accidentally bring about himself if he breaks the little armor on the arms as well. You don't want to do that. Don't even do that in a casual playthrough. There's swarms of flies will come at you, and they will do damage to you, and especially at this range, you don't want to take that damage. He was a little bit finicky there, but completely okay. We're going to touch this Archstone, consume some Moongrass to top up our HP a little bit, because we're going to take a series of drops here. We don't want to forget to do that. Definitely never happened before.
It hasn't. What do you mean?
And then we're gonna head to our second archdemon. It's a really tragic archdemon. Was actually once a saint. Her name is Maiden of Astraea. Chose to live besides the unfortunate souls of the valley, trying to bring them peace as they await death. But she's actually a really defenseless boss. She will do nothing to hurt you as you try and take her down. But she does have a defender called the Garl of Vinland that will try and chase you down. But a quick drop here into the plagued pool. A little running attack that helps us close the distance. And as we're plagued, we're gonna have to consume a Widow's Lotus here to remove that tick, cast our bread and butter homing soul arrow and soul ray, take out Maiden of Astraea. And if this was the original, Garl of Vinland would have been right on our heel here, because he closes the gap really fast. But if you look in the distance there in the remake, he is far off, which I'm very grateful for because he's really scary.
Pretty sure the reason they did that is because there's a trophy tied to him to killing Maiden before Garl in the remake that they added. So I imagine that's fine. All right, last visit to our best girl, the Maiden in Black. We're gonna get 45 magic, and we do have a few spare souls, so we're gonna use the rest on a bunch of fresh spice. So just a quick little use of something that we don't need anymore. From here on, we're gonna teleport from world to world, come back to Nexus. So just a quick little investment. Alrighty, so. We are now in 2-1 Smithing Grounds, World Stonefang Tunnel. And funnily enough, this was the first level you would do in the original because, like I said earlier, it's a melee-based run. So this world is one good one to get ore and that kind of thing that you would need for a melee-esque run. So, and for this, we more or less did the same, but with the Tower Latria. We're going to use that as our way to build up our character. So that's a cool little way. This game is pretty open, which... Sometimes the world you want to go to first may vary depending on your build. It's a really cool feature about the openness. Alrighty, so now I'm going to cast Cloak so an enemy doesn't try to snipe us as we do our next little skip, the Armor Spider skip. Funnily enough, this is one of the later skips I found, even though it wasn't the original. So we're going to jump in this fence, and then we're going to jump here. This is actually technically out of bounds. It might not look like it right now, but as we turn this corner... Yep, now you can tell it's very much out of bounds. I guess. So, all right. So now we're gonna abuse the reloads that we were talking about earlier. How we can face through walls whenever some objects as we reload. We're gonna do a series of these reloads. There should be about 3. Okay, that spot wasn't the greatest to be in. I need to be on top of that. But let's see. Yeah, 3 reloads. To reposition ourselves 3 times to be able to get what we want. Oh no. Okay, that's not ideal.
That's not a good oh no. Don't scare me like that, Berto.
I got this. Don't worry.
Okay.
Oh. Oh, really? Okay. So, if you reload in a very particular spot, sometimes you won't hit a ground because there's no ground below you. So what will happen is that you will just fall for a little while. So. And yeah, I can actually move here, and but nothing I do, like reloading or so, will fix it. So just gotta wait until the game kills itself. That's okay. We technically got the skip here. Oh, there you go. But oh no, wait, no, we died. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's not supposed to happen. Okay, no, we actually do want that to happen. It was just a slow way to go about it. Funnily enough. But yeah, now so basically what happened there is that we went out of bounds to put our next stable position in the next level, which would be 2-2 instead of 2-1. But the start to 2-2 is right behind the boss that we just fought, Armor Spider. So we abuse that to basically die and then put us behind that in the Archstone as if we had just died in the next level. So, cool little skip. All right, now we're gonna do the next scattering skip to land at the bottom of this little cliff ravine, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so as I said earlier, all you have to do is reload as you get to the bottom, as you hear to scream, and you pretty much know you got it. It's got a pretty good opening to do it. So all right, so now we got some safety items here. We got this full moon grass and another stun of Ephemeralize, because I did use another one earlier. I would have picked it up anyway, just to be safe. And now we got the next boss, Flame Lurker. Very infamous boss in the series for any first players, but you should go down. Oh, forgot about the Clever Rat.
Clever Rat, yes.
Yep.
Really demonstrating the power of Clever Rat Ring here. If you don't have it on, you're just not going to get that damage output that you're looking for.
Yeah, it would have been a 2-shot first, but I forgot the ring, so. But now, he's dead. That was a little spooky, actually. He might have caught me with the roll there, but we got it. So yeah, it goes down pretty easy. This boss is extremely weak to magic as is. So combining that with Clever Rat and her magic stats, it's pretty good. Alrighty, so now we're gonna do a cool little tech you can do here for the next boss, Dragon God.
Yeah, so Berto's actually going to switch that into some cinematic mode that we were talking about earlier, so we'll be able to abuse the no collision, but we're actually extending the frame of no collision as well. And then also Berto is going to cloak before he walks into this archdemon fight, because it's going to allow us to, get a perfect cycle on the boss. We're just kind of like buffering a little bit of time here so we can enter at the right cycle, because Dragon God tries to detect you, punch you, and roast you as you try to get into his domain. But as you see, cinematic mode is doing the work for us. We just walk through obstacles, which is absolutely beautiful, onto our first ballista here, which is going to take out a majority of the Dragon God's HP. Not a conventional fight as you know them. It's a little bit of a gimmick fight. And then collision is actually going to return now, which means Berto is actually going to need to clear the debris himself. Oh no, I actually have to deal with some of it myself. But yeah, he's going to strike it with a Crescent Falchion, clearing it up. And he's really, abusing the stamina management here, because Dragon God will try to burn you as you, go across his gaze. But since Berto has really good stamina management, he knows what he's looking for and his timing of this fight. He can just walk on by to the second ballista, going to take out the next majority of his HP. But Dragon God is not dead just yet. We're going to walk over to him, cast a homing soul arrow, and that will be the end.
Indeed. So here it is, homing soul arrow, and that should pretty much do the rest of it. Yep. Ready. So now we're gonna top off and such. We're gonna get our health back up full and our men as well. And then we're gonna do a PS Plus warp away from the room. And one thing we haven't really discussed yet, as you can see in the top left, my mana isn't fully restored because I didn't fully restore it. And essentially what's happening here is that PS Plus Warp actually keep your state in the last level that you were on, instead of, having it restore as you normally do for traveling through the Nexus. So in some cases, that's a really good thing. We can keep Clever Rat's ring to be able to, keep it just to cause levels pretty much. So. Alright, so all that's going to happen here is going to be stamina management as we try to run a dragon roasting this bridge. No big deal. So if you would like to read the donation or the incentives, you can do so now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. First of all, we must remain laser focused. We're currently under $62,000 away from hitting the Super Mario Bros. 3 any % no wrong warp run. That would be by Mitch Flower Power. So essentially what's going to happen is if we meet that goal, Mitch Flower Power is going to perform an additional run. That's right, a whole different run, solo, not co-op, trying to beat Super Mario Bros. 3 any % no wrong warp. So we're raising money for that. But it's a 2-in-1 because every dollar that comes through right now is also helping get us closer to 2.5 million. And once we hit 2.5 million, the Kingdom Hearts 2 run is going to be upgraded from the regular critical mode to level 1 critical mode, which essentially means you can't level up at all, right? Everything gets way harder. In the words from somebody much earlier, it says, it goes from an already outstanding gameplay to an intensely outstanding gameplay. It's a lot to handle. It's a lot to manage. If you haven't seen it, like me, let's watch it. Let's get that 2.5 million. I would also like to read this donation we have from Carl Germ. They donate $133.70. They say, I'm so unbelievably proud of Berto for all he has done for the Demon's Souls speedrun and community and for his ability to bring this amazing game to 2 SGDQs in a row. And I am so unbelievably excited to hear my favorite GDQ commentator, Ashewyn, with her amazing commentary once again. I feel so incredibly honored to call you both my friends. Oh, and Berto, can you teach me how to spell cancel? Please, help me.
Actually, you know, I don't know how Berto feels about this, but we just actually finished up a fight called Tower Knight. Went down pretty quickly, but there's a huge running segment up here. So I don't know, Berto, if you want to give this away to a few more donations, what do you think?
Yeah, go ahead. Nothing. Honestly,
Okay.
Tower Knight is not the big a deal. You got melted pretty quickly. Go ahead.
So yeah, let's
All right.
say 3 donations.
3 donations, got it. C. Gordon donates $2,000.
Whoa!
Wow. Thanks so much. They say, go Berto! Thanks to GDQ staff, volunteers, runners, viewers, donators for your dedication to an amazing cause. Thank you so much, C. Gordon. $2,000.
Jeez.
Cakers55 donates $50. They say, good luck, Berto. Have a great run. Sending love from Portugal.
Thank you, Kickers.
And we also have a donation, I hope I get this right, from Orny. They donate $20. And they say, hey, Berto, hey, Ashewyn, Orny here, wishing you the best of luck during this late night run. Don't get punched by the old monk, shield, spider, violin time. Also, one last thing to help other folks playing the bingo board. Greetings from Germany.
Oh, wow, rigging it. Yeah, someone made a ring a board for us, so.
Yeah,
As soon as I saw that one, I knew it was done. I had to.
No, that was great. We have a bingo board in our community for them to basically play, and then once they hit all the requirements, they yell Berto because, you know, Berto is perfect for bingo.
Yeah,
but
5 letters.
So Berto actually set up, thank you so much for the donations, by the way. Incredible, and just everyone, just so nice of you.
These archers.
We're actually in a segment here where we're trying to, set up clever rattling range, but the archers are like,
Shooting
who
at the
are you?
same time. Stop. Okay, thanks.
They're in sync, but they're also not noticing us at the same time. Anyways, trying to set up clever rattling range here, but this segment that we're going to run up to is particularly spooky, and Berto's going to do something here to make sure that he doesn't die after this little cutscene. But there's 3 red-eyed knights that have very quick thrust attacks, so what Berto's going to do is going to hold out his shield like that there to make sure they don't do that when you're trying to run past them, and trust me, they will kill you if you don't have, you don't take any precautions against that. So hold up your shield, let them bounce, and then just slip on by onto our next boss.
Penetrator. Yes, chat. Lol all you want. So as most bosses go right now, he's just gonna get melted, unfortunately. It's a very cool design, very cool boss. It's one of my favorites, but he goes down quickly. So now we put on the cat ring because we're gonna need it in the next level. And we PS bus away. And you're gonna see now that I kept my clever rat ring. Like, you won't see the R because I do have a different ring on, but here we go. I'm gonna grab this Stone and Firm Alliance as a backup since I did use one already, just in case. And yeah, now we're gonna go to 4-2 Ritual Path with the boss at the end, Old Hero. Funnily enough, if you look down here in the left, there's a little doorway. If you went through that doorway, in the original, there's actually a skip beyond there that you could do. That would actually skip the Old Hero in the original version of this game, in the PS3 version. But unfortunately, it is gone. Fortunately, we have a bigger skip in the remake, where you can actually skip even Adjudicator. So you can go basically to the arch theme of this level right from the beginning of the world. Oh, didn't mean to do that. But unfortunately, for the current patch, it did get patched at one point. So we do have to go to fight Old Hero. But you can still do it in the disc version, the 1.0 version of the game. All right, so we did a quick little enemy baiting to fall off of the ledge there, which is pretty neat to do. We're gonna roll down here into this pillar. If we were to land on this ground right here, we would actually die because it is a little bit too far down. And then now we're going to do another skip, a cat ring skip, the catacomb skip, Old Hero skip, whatever we're gonna call it. And we're gonna land another pillar. I think that they're good. Yep, we're good. I'm gonna rush price a little bit because we were a little low. Okay. Now I'm gonna cast Cloak because this boss we're about to fight, Old Hero, is actually blind, so he can't see us or react to us well if we're cloaked. Yeah, now we got this boss. It should fairly scripted if he behaves. So, I'm a Solero. Okay, let's see. Not the best RNG. But
Yeah, getting a little bit close there.
Okay, so he jumped and did an attack that could have killed me, but he missed me. He whiffed me by a few feet. And I was ready to quit out in case he killed me, but I didn't hear my character scream, so I just let it go. Whew, okay, that was a little spooky.
Quick reactions, quick speedrunner reactions, by the way. It's not easy to like perform a reload as things are going down, but it really shows you the prowess of Souls speedrunners.
Yeah. Alrighty, so now we're in the Archdemon this level, Storm King. You can see it up there. But to bring him down, we actually need to kill 6 of these little guys. So there's 2, 3, 4. Oh!
No,
I didn't kill that one.
missed that one.
4,
I'm supposed to miss them.
5, 6. And because I have doubts that I miscounted, that one too. Okay.
Just for good measure.
Yep. Alright, so I'm gonna cast Cloak. We make sure they don't follow me too much. I'm listening here and make sure they're not shooting at me. I like how the music got quiet there too, so let me listen. Just got noticeably quiet. Okay, now we're in position. We're gonna fresh up back to full mana. And I'm gonna keep an eye on these guys again while I try to recast my cloak before the big boss comes down here. Ooh,
There
just
he
barely.
is.
Okay. Okay, then 1, 2, 3.
Sounds a little bit like a beached whale
Yep, sure
or a
does.
raptor. Who knows?
Sure does. Yep. Alrighty, that went well. A little spooky, but it was alright. But yeah, now in PS Plus, we're up to the last level of the run, King's Tower. We are now on our way to King Alon himself, the one who caused all this mess with the fog for the old one. So this will probably be the last chance, unless I die, for a donation. So let's do one more.
Okay. Thank you to Marcus, who donates $200. They say, Berto, I'm proud of you, dude. For more than just being good at Souls games. Give this guy a follow, y'all. He's great. Yeah, follow BertoPlease.
Marcus, epic name, bro, I assume. Thank you so much for that donation. Appreciate it. Means the world. Okay, so we are now in another dragon. Alon has a lot of little pet dragons going around here. Oh, while we run through these fat officials, his minions himself. And they are not being nice, but thankfully I read them well enough so I can roll their attacks before I get killed. While managing the dragon. Not an easy feat, that's for sure.
Yeah, just want to actually point out something here that we might have not talked about, but Berto will swivel his camera around quite often to make sure he's watching enemies behind him. Really good thing to do in your own casual playthroughs is make sure you're abusing those camera angles to see what's behind you, because things will sneak up on you.
Sure will. Some purists will sometimes just do audio cues or, you know, just by feel, but I'm too scared for that, especially for a marathon. So. Alrighty, so now we got our last little obstacle after the dragon. Prince Ostrava himself, the son of King Alont, who has been abandoned by his father as he has been consumed by the demon. And now, as we hit this lever, we are in our final stretch of this run, pretty much. We're gonna take this left and make our way up to King Alont himself for the final show. All right, coming up here should be the fog gate of the boss himself.
I was trying so hard not to laugh during the entire elevator lift.
Wow. Don't like my immersion.
All right, this is King Alont, who ultimately gave up on humanity. He's actually a very intimidating and scary boss that could potentially end runs. He's quick to move, quick to attack. Sometimes, can surprise you a little bit with how fast his reaction speeds are. With Berto casting Homing Soul Arrow, he wants all those arrows to connect with his body. Hey Berto, remember when you used to give me heart attacks about Alont?
No.
You're
Not
not
sure we're
supposed to do
talking.
this in the magic route.
I was pretty sure that homing solar would have hit him, so
You looked a tiny bit too far, and I was a little bit scared about that.
yeah, I moved away a little too much, I think. Yeah. Oh man, that's okay. But hey, there's time for donations now. If you would like to do some, how many do you think?
Yeah, I can read donations. How
yeah,
many
like-
we thinking?
It's okay, 3. I'll let you know if you can do more.
All right, we have an anonymous $50 donation who just says, shout out to Ashewyn for this epic commentary. I agree.
Oh, thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you so much to Quail for your $100 donation. Waited all week to donate for this run. So excited to see Berto, Ash, and some Souls action here at the end of GDQ.
Thank you so much, Quail. It's sweet of you.
We also have, I wanted to read this earlier, but an anonymous $1,000 donation. They say, I saved my donation for my favorite series of games. So excited to see Demon Souls next. Thank you, GDQ and Doctors Without Borders.
Thank you so much for that incredible donation. Berto, hi.
Hi.
You okay, bud?
Those fireballs that those fat officials shoot, and sometimes hide really well with the dragon fire. So I did not see that coming until it was too late.
Yeah, really talking about turning those cameras around to make sure that you see what like enemies are doing as you're like working your way through those. There's a lot going on there. There's a dragon you need to mine, the fat ministers, 2 of them, and making sure that you're walking across the right cycle of the fire and not like walking into it, but like making sure that the dragon is roasting the right part of the bridge and you're not close to it. But maybe we can take another donation or 2. What do you think, Berto?
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, I want to mention the incentives. We're sitting at 43,000 out of 100,000 to get that bonus any percent no wrong warp run by Mitch Flower Power. Also, one more time, we got to hit 2.5 million tonight to get that upgraded difficulty in Kingdom Hearts 2. I want to see an absolutely impossible run, don't you? And one more donation. Anonymous donates $1,400 with no comment.
So actually, it's really incredible because we've seen like the Super Mario 64 blindfolded run, then we saw Dark Souls 3, now we're seeing Demon Souls. So many good challenging runs. Why not add Kingdom Hearts to the mix? Let's make that happen, everyone.
Feels so random, but you know what? In a way, it fits. Go from Mario to Demon Souls or Dark Souls 3 anyway. Pretty good combo. And then back to Mario, I suppose, after this. All right, I was focusing really hard there, make sure not to die, so.
All right,
Hopefully it
let's
pays
try-
off here. Yeah.
Try this again, Berto. How you feeling about round 2, Alant?
I mean, in that practice run, I don't think I died at all to Alon. So that
You
was a
did
little
not.
bit- Yeah.
Last year when we were doing melee, that's a really hard route. And Alant has much more opportunity to kill you. It's a much longer fight. You have to actually be close to him to dispose of him. I used to have heart attacks all the time watching Berto do practice because it's
And I did
such
full
a
health
daunting
too.
fight. Yes. Yes.
Which is safer, because we would normally have Clever Rat, but I did full health for that, and even still, she would not. She would not irritate me every time when I give her a heart attack.
The PTSD is back. But yeah, magic damage just takes care of him a lot faster, right, Berto? So that we haven't seen that happen for you just yet.
Missed call on my part, but that's okay.
That's
You know,
okay.
It's a
happens.
Souls game.
It's a
You all
hard
know.
game. It's really hard to read through the attacks of these characters.
Indeed. All right. Round 2. Thank you. Not the best RNG though.
Nice opening. So as you can see, Berto's turning away from King Gallant here while having homing soul arrow cast because he doesn't want those arrows to like track to King Gallant as he's too far away because they just will not connect with him at all. You'll want to make sure that Gallant closes the gap like here, roll into him or past him to make sure most of the arrows connect, because if you do it too, yeah, see, that's what I mean by homing soul arrows missing if he's a little bit too far away. And if you don't roll into him, a lot of those arrows could potentially miss. But this guy in general doesn't like to give you much of a break. He's always kind of on you, except when he does that AoE attack, which you need to put a considerable distance between you and him. But with magic attack, if we were close enough and we had homing soul arrow up, we can actually interrupt that attack, which is what Berto was trying to do in that first attempt, but he was slightly too far off, which meant that he didn't connect the attack, didn't get the stagger on Alant, and just died. But a little bit of a also tough fight second time around, but you know what? Berto did it. Congrats. Thank you for that display. and heart attack. But with all 5 archdemons defeated, the seal to the Old One in the Nexus is broken, and the Maiden of Black can fulfill her purpose by escorting you to lull the Old One back to sleep. But within the tree, this massive body that you see here of the Old One, we find out something a little bit peculiar. That the Alliance that we just fought was not the true King Alliance, but with King Alliance having accepted being the servant of the Old One, becomes this disfigured demon within the body of the Old One, which kind of puts us under the impression that everything within Boletaria is a manifestation that he controls, and they're all demons within his employ. But just like that, we're actually coming close to closing up on time here, but with King Allant dead, nothing lies before us between us and the Old One. We now need to make the ultimate choice to let the Maiden of Black send him back to sleep until he is awoken once again by the pursuit of soul arts, or to kill the final archdemon herself, yes, the Maiden in Black, and assume the ultimate power and become the new servant of the Old One, extending the presence of demons in Boletaria. What choice will Berto make?
And time.
Ruthless.
Ruthless. Soul speedrunners are not known for their mercy. I am sorry. I do love her though, so I do feel a little bad.
Character really stamps her out there, like for good measure, like twists on her head and everything.
And I know what the time was for that. I'm looking forward to that number, but 53. Okay.
Underestimate.
Fair enough. Yeah, fairly bit underestimate. I was hoping that would beat my time from last year, which is a 51:40 something. But you know what? Okay. It happens. It's a Souls game. You can die at any moment. Alrighty. Thank you for having me, GDQ. It was a pleasure to be back here. I would like to thank my community for supporting me during everything, especially the last couple months leading up to this event. Speed Souls, speedrun.com, the Souls community in general. We would not be here to the capacity that we are today if it wasn't for them. Distortion 2 or Romantic Core, as you saw, this was on commentary earlier with Dark Souls 3. Both really early contributors to Dark Souls Demon Souls remake for finding skips early on and stuff before even I could join in. Gidano, Lawblanks, both continued to keep the game alive for a couple months after that. Just as a game, people Montgomery PS5s, they're really willing to help out more new players. And Epic Name Bro, one of the earlier innovators earlier. One of the earliest content creators for Souls that I ever watched personally. So he's been a real bro to me too. And showed me a lot of respect as a fellow content creator. So I really respect him for that. And I really appreciate all the love he shows me. Alrighty, so if any of you would like to learn any of these skips or boss strategies for Demon Souls remake or original, I have a YouTube channel where I pretty much teach as much as I can for those skips and such. And if anything, it would be a good way to give a taste for the speedrun. So say you don't want to run through 3-2 for the minute time and take 5 minutes, like I said, 6 minutes. You could learn that hard skip by watching the video, and maybe that would convince you to get into the speedrun of this game. If you have a PS5, anywho, it is a hard one to get. The routes I would personally recommend is this one, 80% current patch. Really fun one, probably the most fun one I've had for sure. If you think maybe the skips are too daunting or you're scared of, I don't know, missing a character or something, the glitches category is also fairly popular and also just as valid. An easier way to get into for new players. Or you could even play the original, the PS3. It's still a valid run. You can see the similarities and differences. We did run it at SGDQ 2020, as we said earlier. So if you want to check out the YouTube video for that one live, it's right there. Really good video to watch. And it's just as valid. And you can even play and run this game without the PS3 if you would want to. Yeah, that will be BertoPlease for YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. All my plugs are BertoPlease. And speaking of Twitch, that is my main platform. So if you would like to see more Demon Souls remake runs, that's where you'll catch me on every week, a couple times a week. On Monday, I'll probably be going back to try to reclaim my record for this category. So if you want to see that attempts live, give me a follow. I'll be there every week for a little while. Ash, thank you much for being here. Thank you for being the best commentator on the planet. Would you like to say anything?
Yes, I do have a few words actually. So, thanks GDQ and all you incredible souls watching from home for making this run possible and supporting Doctors Without Borders so that the world might be mended. You have a heart of gold. Don't let it take it from you. And our community for being out here to cheer us on. We love you. And Berto, you could have invited anyone to do this commentary with you, but thank you for being a great friend and choosing me to do this again with you. Your love for Demon Souls really comes through. You are the true firekeeper for Demon Souls and making sure the love for it stays alive. Super proud of you and everything you've done. So yeah, take it from me before I get too emotional.
I'm about to do this myself. Thank you very much, Ash. All right. Thank you for having us, GDQ. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, thank you so much to BertoPlease and Ashewyn for that incredible presentation of Demon Souls, the 2020 remake. That was just excellent. I'm so happy to be here in this moment with you all, everybody. That was incredible. I do want to mention that we are literally like $700-ish away from hitting $2.1 million, and we need to hit $2.5 million to upgrade that run to the level 1 critical mode difficulty in Kingdom Hearts 2. Before we do that, I want to read a donation from the ever so sweet Prolix, my host boss. He donates $100 and says, "My parents once again asked me to donate in their name. So here's a contribution from Thomas and Janet. Love you both. And my thanks to them and everyone else who has supported Doctors Without Borders." Thank you so much, Prolix. And with that, we're going to take a short break while you guys hear some words from our friends at Annapurna Interactive. Welcome back. We have a $50 donation from Ketchup in My Shoe. They say Scent and Mr. Game & Shout's prize segments have been above and beyond this SGDQ. Big props to both of them for making me laugh every time. Thank you so much, Ketchup in My Shoe. Well, earlier, something pretty tragic happened to Scent, and Shout had to take over, but I think we're about to find out now as I toss you back over to Scent and Shout for prizes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2021 Online. I'm Sent, and as you can clearly see, I'm perfectly fine, and I'm joined by my good buddy, Mr. Game and Shout.
Hello again.
How are you doing, Shout?
I am good. I am powering through.
Yep, the marathon is coming to a wrap up. We're coming to our last couple of games here,
Yeah.
but that does not mean that we are out of awesome prizes for them to donate for.
Not
are we?
even remotely. We're still adding stuff, in fact.
We do. We have some really cool new stuff to talk about as well as all the other stuff. So let's just get right into it, Shout.
All right. What do you want? What do you want to start with?
Well, let's just go from the top. You know, we
Okay,
got
cool.
a beautiful corrupted monk print from NH Ojo. Like, look at that. That is just absolutely striking. Shout, I don't know if you're a big Sekiro fan. I don't know if you're a bigger Soul series fan.
I've done a little bit of Souls. I haven't had the chance to get too deep into it, but I'm more familiar with it with than some other things. So
Gotcha. Yeah, Sekiro, super fun game. The corrupted monk was one of those bosses that took me forever to beat the first time, and then you find out, oh no, you didn't actually beat the boss. This is the boss fight. Welcome to it. $5 minimum donation. Super cool, striking, memorable print from that game. And thank you so much to NHOJO for sending that out to us. Now, from Wolf Shadow, we have another one of Wolf Shadow's amazing iron-on patches. This time, we have the Heartless symbol from Kingdom Hearts. Like, it looks great. If you're a Kingdom Hearts fan and you want this on a patch or, you know, on your curtains or whatever else you can iron something onto. Shout, I'm not a responsible adult. Do you think I own an iron?
I mean, I don't. It's possible. I'm more concerned about your curtains. I'm glad you don't at this point.
But seriously, this patch is super cool. Love all the detail in it. Thank you so much to Wolf Shadow for sending it out. $5 minimum donation from now until the end of the marathon. Shout, why don't you tell them about Sugar Cube
On
Studios
your
pins?
curtains. Okay, got them out of the plastic this time. From Sugar Cube Studios, we have this set of 3 Kingdom Hearts pins. I told you about Donald. I told you about Goofy. I'm told the one in the middle is Sora.
You got it right.
Okay, look, I know there's more than one from these games. I didn't know which one I was looking at, but they are absolutely adorable. Put them on your bag. Put them on your curtains, I guess. $5 minimum donation gets you in to win these.
It's a super cool pin set. Thank you so much to Sugar Cube Studios for sending that out to us. So from Folding Pixels, we have a beautiful 3D Mario Brothers diorama. It's about, you know, yay big or so. It's just a clear cube. And what I really love about Folding Pixel style, you can see a great picture of it over at gamesdonequick.com, is that it's entirely done out of folded paper that's just been like drawn on. So like you have this 3D diorama of, I think it's like 1/3 of SMB3, and you know, everything's just popping out. But it's all just paper and like on little tiny little strings. They've got like paper paratroopers.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cool. The level of detail considering the medium is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, medium and size. It's only about 4 inches, but it's packed.
Right. No, that's the thing. Like it's really tiny, but there's still somehow a ton of intricate detail in there. It's incredible. You got to go check a picture of it out. And thank you so much to Folding Pixels for sending that out to us. Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to be pretty careful with this one, but this one is so awesome. Shout, I don't know about you, but I do have fond memories of heading out in the summer, hearing that ice cream truck, and you know what the first thing I wanted every time I saw it was?
What's that?
A chocolate eclair, because I really like chocolate. But if you were a kid who really loved those Sonic Pops with the gumball eyes, this is the stained glass piece for you. $15 minimum donation from now until the end of the marathon. It comes from our good friend Kiss My Black Glass, which is an absolutely wonderful name and one we have to be careful pronunciating. But seriously, this is amazing. Something I'm not sure if you got to mention earlier, Shout, is this is actually multiple pieces of stained glass welded together.
Oh, wow.
Like these little black spots you see are welds where the pieces of glass have been attached to each other.
So, oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
So that's like a really super cool and unique way of putting a stained glass piece together. I'm a big fan of it. Love all the detail in it. Thank you so much to Kiss My Black Glass. From Meredith Frederick, we also have a similar stained glass piece, but it's Kingdom Hearts this time, and it's faux stained glass, so it's, you know, a bit of acrylic instead of actual glass, but the effect it creates is absolutely stunning. Now, Shout, I know you're not too into the Kingdom Hearts lore, but let me try and start somewhere. So this is the symbol of the Heartless. Now, everybody has a Heartless, but they also have a Nobody, but they're also somebody. But okay, hold on. I don't have time to explain this. Let me summarize. Everyone is either Sora or Xenohort. That's pretty much it. You'll figure out what that means as you go.
The first explanation I've got of Kingdom Hearts that actually helped.
Yeah, no, you'll figure out who's who as soon as you go, but it basically boils down to that. Thank you so much to Meredith Frederick for sending that out. $20 minimum donation from now until the end of the marathon. Now, behind me right here, we have this absolutely beautiful bonfire cross-stitch sent to us out by Samantha Roche. Like, look at that, Shout.
It's fantastic.
That's not a print. That's not a painting. I'm going to bring it closer so you all can enjoy it.
Yeah.
That is a cross stitch. That is hundreds of stitches to create that black frame around the bonfire. And the level of detail and shading in there, absolutely amazing. $25 minimum donation. I would happily give $25 to charity with the chance of taking this home and putting it on a shelf
100%,
somewhere. Like,
100%.
This is incredible, but I'm not allowed to win it. Only you can win it, and only you can win it if you get in a $25 minimum donation before the end of the marathon. Now, from Sky Berkson, I love Sky's work. Shout, I want you to know, what material do you think this Donkey Kong house is made out of?
I mean, the house itself?
Well, yeah, just in general.
I mean, it appears to be wood.
Yeah, it's a wooden frame and, wooden elements of the structure of the house. This is done in paper somehow.
What?
I know, right? Skyworks is just a master of 3D model craft. This is incredible. The level of
serious?
detail and texture.
That's
Yeah,
wow.
I know, right? It blew my mind too when I saw it on Twitter. I was like, no, certainly not.
There's no way.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay then. That's incredible.
I did not even know. I legitimately did not know that.
Yeah, thank you so much to Sky for sending this thing out to us. It is unbelievably detailed. If you want some Kong in your life and in your house, make sure to get in $25 before the end of the marathon. I'm going to set it right back up there. Now, we actually have a new prize available for you, starting with this upcoming run of Super Mario Bros. 3.
Yes.
Starting right now, technically, during this prize segment. If you've donated at least $25 from now until the end of the marathon, you're going to be entered to win a Nintendo Switch, along with a couple of great games. We've got a copy of Bowser's Fury, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and, of course, Breath of the Wild. 3 can't-miss games for the Switch, and a Switch console. And you're giving $25 to charity if you want it. Come on.
It does not get better than that.
It doesn't get better than that. Make sure to get those donations in. It's a great game package. And, of course, from Siebes WSB, you got to show it off again,
Oh,
Shout.
yeah.
We got this
the
beautiful
blanket.
quilt.
And now we've actually got 2 people. We might be able to get this thing.
We might be able to show it off for you a little better.
Right, so that's backwards.
Oh, whoop. That's the wrong side of
It
it.
would not
All
be
right.
a prize segment if we didn't have it the wrong way around.
Look, Shout, one day when you're working with me, you'll understand that I don't know
Follow
which
my lead
direction
here.
is up.
Just look at my hand. Look at my hand.
All right. We got there. We got there, Shout. It's all good. This thing is absolutely incredible. As you can see, it's large enough to cover both of us.
Yes.
And we are not small people.
We are, in real life, we're very big.
Indeed. This thing is so amazing. Thank you so much to Siebes WSB for sending it out. Super warm, hand-stitched. How could you not want it? $50 minimum donation from now until the end of the marathon. Now, Shout, before we talk about our grand prizes,
Yes.
I want to talk about a really important opportunity we have here at Games Done Quick.
Okay.
So throughout the month of July,
Yes.
Games Done Quick is donating all of the revenue we receive from subs and bits after what we need to take out to pay for taxes, right back to charity, right back to MSF. So that means those sub trains that you see in chat, those are going to charity. The proceeds from that, minus taxes, going to charity. But here's where it gets spicy, Shout, because as you know, if you got Amazon Prime, and I'm sure a lot of people do, then you have Prime Gaming if you link that Amazon account with your Twitch account. And you know what? That means that every month you get a free subscription to a channel, and the streamer gets the full revenue from that subscription. And put 2 and 2 together, that free subscription, we get that revenue, we take out what we need to pay for taxes, and we donate the rest back to MSF. So if you have that free subscription from Amazon Prime, or your mother does, your grandmother, your sister, anyone in your family, your friends, have them connect their account, have them get that in so we can continue supporting the amazing, amazing work done by Médecins Sans Frontières.
Wow.
I pronounced it correctly this time. I'm proud of myself.
I'm pretty sure you did. Like, I have not been brave enough to try that.
Now, Shout, we do have 2 amazing grand prizes to talk about, but before we
do.
get there, I did want to mention something. This is going to be your last prize segment this event, isn't it? It is. And before we go, Shout, I know I've been giving you some prize advice throughout the week, but I wanted to give you one last piece of advice, and I think it's the most important piece of advice I can give you.
Okay.
I want you to remember going forward not to be me. I want you to be Shout. Every time we sit down on this couch before this camera starts rolling, Shout goes off on some ridiculous anecdote that I absolutely love. He'll start, telling me this 10-minute long story about how, like, the player coordinate in Outer Wilds is set to 0, so that all of the, like, physics simulations can always happen in a certain sphere of influence around you, and how that affects different things in the game. And they're always just so interesting and so enlightening. And I mean, Shout, I just wanted to let you know, heart to heart, I started doing the bits because I wasn't confident enough to come out here and just be myself. And now I do the bits because I just like to come out here and be dorky and fun.
Sure.
You've got something great there. And I really hope that you'll be able to capitalize on that moving forward, Shout.
I appreciate it, man. I do.
Yep.
That means a lot.
Of course.
And I just want to take a second as well. Like Sint said, this is my last time that I'm going to be speaking to y'all and seeing y'all here. I wanted to thank everyone who is watching at home for accepting me on these prize segments. Sent, I love you, man. I know you never meant to be, but you are an institution. And there are a lot of people out there that absolutely love seeing you. They love these segments, and there's a lot of attachment to you, and it's very intimidating, getting on these couch and being a part of that. And I want to thank everyone for being so generous and so welcoming. I am not replacing Scent. I could not replace Scent if I tried. I don't think anybody could. But thank you all so much for just being so incredibly generous, for supporting the charity, for supporting me and the rest of the team here. It's just blown me away, and thank you all so much.
Shout, bring it in, man. It's been great working with you this week.
Absolutely.
Now, Shout, I've been holding you back from it all week.
Yes.
I want you to tell me about this PC in the way that you nerded out as soon as we took it out of the box.
Okay, so here's the thing about this. So this is the Mark 9 from Skytech Gaming, and so, we've got the spec sheet on this. We're looking at this all week, and what was it? Wednesday, this finally got into the studio, right? And actually looking around in here, I really love what they've done. So starting with the case, we've got sort of this dual-chambered case. So we've got all of our actual components, the motherboard, the graphics card, everything up here in the front. We've got a second area in the back, and that's where we've got the power supply and a lot of your wiring. Now, I was telling you earlier, the whole point of having the back of a case is it gives you somewhere to hide your sins, right? Mine looks like a mad knitter's shame closet. It is pristine back there. The cable routing that they've done is great. The airflow, they've got it intaking from the bottom, exhausting out the top, 6 and 6, along with the 360 rad over here. One of the trade-offs that you have when you switch over to water cooling like this is that you don't get as much airflow over the components in the system themselves. I've got a water-cooled rig at home, and the stock cooler that comes with these AMD processors, it blows down onto the motherboard. It's not blowing sideways, it blows down.
Right.
And it's not as powerful as, some aftermarket coolers, but because it's blowing down, it's washing over things like the voltage regulation system and other components and helping to keep that cool. If you're going with something like this where you're using water cooling to take that heat away, you need to make sure that you have enough airflow in the case to keep something like that going, especially with something like the 5800X in here that's going to be sucking down, even at stock, it's something over 100 watts. If this thing is really unleashed, it's just going to be going past there. So knowing that you've got a good, clean build, that you've got plenty of airflow, you've got dust filters literally everywhere, like a pull-out dust filter on the bottom, magnetic dust filters everywhere else. We were shocked at the places.
We really were. These things seem so convenient. Literally, you can just pull out the dust filter right there.
Right. But I love the build that's gone into this. The components are well-sized for each other, right? This is like a 1440p gaming and streaming rig. This thing is going to be rock solid for you.
I love that. And what I love is that Shout has the technical knowledge to tell you all why it's good. And I'm just sitting here ooh, flashing lights, 3070 Ti. That's good.
It's also really shiny.
It's really shiny and powerful. It's awesome. Thank you so much to Skytech Gaming for providing it to us. And of course, we got to talk about our other grand prize, Shout, because we have 18 different replicas that you can choose from our friends at Heroic Replicas. They are all amazing. Seriously, so many amazing new ones that you have to go check out. Things like the Lightscale Trident, the Megaton Hammer, He-Man's Sword of Power, the Thundercats Sword of Omens. I keep saying that one because, frankly, it's my favorite. I've forgotten about Thundercats, and then I remembered, wait a minute, I love that cartoon, actually. That sounds awesome. I love that sword. So huge shout-outs to Heroic Replicas for providing those. Huge shout-outs to Dave at Heroic Replicas. Thank you so much. Remember, both of those are a $250 minimum cumulative donation, so if you haven't already, please get those $50 donations in to get entered into everything we just talked about. Get those $250 donations in to get entered into those grand prizes. And of course, just get your donations in because they're going to a great cause. They're going to see the KH1 critical incentive, and they're just going to an amazing charity that does life-saving work all around the world, wherever it's needed, whenever it's needed.
Absolutely.
Shout.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure having you. It's been a pleasure having you as a member of the team. But I can think of another great team that we can send this off to. Mitch Flower Power and the Haxer. Let's get ready for some SMB3.
See ya.
Wow, thank you so much for an incredible prize segment. I got a little emotional there for a moment listening to Game and Shout. Thank you guys again so much for those wonderful prizes and for all your donations. You cumulatively over the course of the event build yourself up to win those grand prizes, and there's just so much to win and so much good that goes into all of this. I also want to mention that we are under $40,000 left to hit that Super Mario Bros. 3 any% no wrong warp run. And we still got to get to 2.5 million tonight to upgrade that Kingdom Hearts 2 run. But yeah, that's it for me, everybody. This has been my last shift of SGDQ 2021. I'm your host, Brutal Mello. I've had so much fun. It's my third GDQ now in a row, and I'm just thankful that I keep getting back in. Shout outs to the host fam. I love you all so much. But with that, to further emphasize some of the excitement coming your way later tonight, here are the legendary Kung Fu Fruit Cups and Ninten.
That was so sweet. Thank you, Mello. You are a wonderful host. I was just remarking that there have been so many amazing hosts this week doing amazing jobs, plus loving the energy between Game and Shout and Scent this week. Oh, so much good energy in the atmosphere all week. It's been really fantastic. But I am here with you tonight for the final interview of the marathon. So, wow, that's another thing that's like, oh my gosh. It's been such a pleasure to do interviews with you this week. I am joined by the awesome Ninten, who is getting ready to do the upcoming Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix level 1 crit for any percent. Critical mode any percent.
Yeah, correct.
So saying all that is a lot. First of all, how are you, Ninten? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling. Of course, I'm still really nervous about the run, just like closing out. This is my first time having a completely solo run at a marathon. So
Right.
the fact that it's also the finale, I get a lot of nerves about it, but I'm still excited, and yeah.
Yeah,
really
no,
excited.
it's totally understandable to be nervous, but like I was saying earlier, you're gonna do amazing, and it's just gonna be fun. Like this is the time. Everybody's excited, everybody's pumped up. So it's gonna be wonderful. Plus, you have another run before yours, so you got some time. You get
Yeah,
to
we got
watch and then get ready. So we have this is your level 1 critical mode. So I don't think we've seen level 1 at a GDQ before. Can you explain to everybody just a little bit about like how that goes?
Yeah, so it's I mean it's self-explanatory. We just stay at level 1 throughout the whole game,
Mhm.
but that really changes up the run a ton because we won't have to worry about EXP routing at all. So that's like a plus. But the downside is that our damage and our HP and the damage we take is going to be extremely high because we don't have any defense or any stats at all, really.
Right.
So it's going to be really insane trying to pull off all the strats during the run. Because if anything, like it was just a little bit wrong, it can be really easy to just die in like a hit or two.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So what are the tools that you think best serve you when you're dealing with level 1?
Oh, the tools. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 is such a it's such a good has such a good combat system because all the tools in the game are basically utilized in the speed run. Yeah, so we're gonna have like a lot of showcasing of all the different like abilities you have in the game, all the different summons, all the different limits and drives and all that. So it's gonna be really
Mhm.
cool.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah, I agree. It'll be great to see like that whole mix of everything. But let's say like something doesn't go right the first time, especially with level 1. Like what would you
Mhm.
say are the backup strats that are going to best serve you for this?
Yeah, so I've because of how long I've been running the game and how much practice I put in, I know like basically how the ins and outs of every fight. So it allows me to like if something goes a little bit wrong on the fly, I can think of okay, so now I need to like refill my drive gauge, so I need to like do another magnet here, or like oh
Okay.
I used an extra ether here, so I have to pick up another one in this place. But yeah, and if a strat goes wrong, I can just go instantly into like survival mode and just try to win the fight and not be too risky about it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I feel like there is
Mhm.
definitely a lot within the means of Kingdom Hearts that allow you to kind of like play it safe in certain elements. Like you know how to dodge, you know how to, use the right thing at the right time. So that
Mhm.
makes sense. I mean, either way, regardless of what happens, it's going to be really fascinating to watch whether we see like everything go perfectly first try or we get to see backup strats because that's going to create it's going to have more. Like there will be more going on. So no matter what happens, it's going to be awesome. Now, I wanted to make sure I got this question into you, and it's really important. With this run, how are you going to emotionally handle the weight that comes with having Spike and Hobbs on the couch?
um, yeah,
I mean, it's a
I don't
lot,
know
you
if
know?
yeah, man, I don't think I can answer that. I don't have.
We'll just have to see. I just wish you the best of luck. But honestly, no, those are two are fantastic. And we were saying earlier that it's a really fantastic combination to have for the finale to be able to I don't know, have if you're gonna have two people who are gonna both be great commentary and help hype you up and hype the last run of the marathon up, it's gonna be those two. So it
Mhm.
should be a really, really fun combo. And before I let you go, do you have any kind of community things like community involvement that you'd like to talk about? Just shouting people out, or I know, you know, since this is your first main stage, I know you've been around for a while and know a lot of
Mhm.
people.
Oh yeah, I just want to. I mean, I'll give shout outs during the run too, but I just want to give shout outs to the entire community. Always been really welcoming to new runners and helping me out when I first joined. And then there's a Kingdom Hearts Discord for anyone who wants to learn to run as well.
Mhm.
And then shout outs to my girlfriend, Crunchy Kimochi. She's really amazing. I love her very much.
Aw. That's awesome. Okay, well, can't wait for this run. This is the final run of the marathon. Oh my gosh. Before that, we do have our Super Mario Brothers 3 SMB3 co-op any percent warpless run. I know we have some incentive for that coming up. That is going to be between Mitch Flower Power and the Hacksaw, and it's going to be awesome. Again, this whole evening has been amazing, and I can't wait for the last couple runs. And though I don't want it to be over, I also am really excited to see
Yeah.
the last few things. So thank you so much for talking with me, Ninten. I really appreciate
Mhm.
it. You know, final interview. Thank you so much, everyone watching this week. Thank you for all the donations, all of the support, and everything that you all have brought to the table. It makes us so happy, and I don't know. It's just amazing being a part of it all. So from the interview team, much love to you all, chat. Very much love. I'm sure we'll see you all next time. But at least you get to, you know, still hear from Hobbs and Spike before the end of the night.
Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, coming up next again is the SMB3 run, and I am going to hand it over to the lovely Skybills to take it away from here.
Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2021 Online. I'm Skybills, and I'm going to be your host for the Super Mario Brothers 3 run, or runs, if you will, if we can meet the any percent no wrong warp incentive. So, quick update on that. We are currently $79,197 out of $100,000 for that bonus any percent no wrong warp run. Also, keep in mind, folks, we do have that 2.5 million goal. What does that mean? That means Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to get incredibly more difficult with that level 1 critical mode run. So if you want to see the Kingdom Hearts 2 critical level 1 mode run, 2.5 million is the goal we have to go for, folks. But first, let's do a couple donations before we get started on this, shall we? We have $150 from Deluge. He says, good luck on the run, Hacksaw and Mitch. Let's get that no wrong warp run. Averia donates $50 saying, Mitch playing more SMB3? Gotta see this. Jayco donates $250 saying, extend GDQ on the final night. Duh! Let's start out the hype train. Here's 50, that's $5 tickets towards both the extra SMB3 run and the 2.5 million incentive. Choo-choo! Let's go, y'all! Killikalua donates $50 saying, all the world's a stage. This is no more true than in SMB3. And we have famed actor Mitch Flower Power to guide us through this nostalgic set piece. Good luck. We have a $1,000 anonymous donation who says, thanks for putting on a great event as always. Thank you very much for your donation. All right, folks, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.